most memorable backstage fight?
I'm trying to think. There's a couple fights. There was the infamous New Jack Pitbull Anthony fight in Queens, which really just it stalled out before it could even go. And I most recently learned that the fight was between New Jack and Pitbull Anthony. Pitbull won. Got into a shouting match because I guess Pitbull Anthony said something to Joel Gertner. It did something to Joel Gertner that New Jack didn't like. I can't remember at the moment. That's for a story for Joel to tell. And New Jack was like, why don't you leave him alone? And they started like kind of like forehead to forehead argue, and then they start tussling, and a couple of guys dove in to break it up. And I just remember Shane Douglas putting his arms out, going, "Let him go, let him go, let him fight, let him fight." And then they just rolled around the floor, and they're jockeying for position. Nobody can really get like a good shot in. And then eventually somebody broke it up. And then
did they break it up because it was just getting too boring?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like, yeah, right. I gotta sit there. Will you get out of my way? I gotta put my gear on. As far as locker room fights, well, then I'm when you think of locker room fights, I'm always thinking of the times we had to fight the fans. There was the infamous riot in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, on Mischief Night. The night before Halloween in Philadelphia. Well, right outside Philly and Plymouth Meeting. We used to run the Lulu Temple, and then Lulu Temple got sold, so we had to find a new building in the area. So we found the National Guard Armory in Plymouth Meeting, which is right outside at Conshohocken. And it's Mischief Night, our first night in the show, first night in the building, first and last. And there's like we're right near like a local college, so there's these like drunk frat boys in the crowd, all wearing white t-shirts, just being boisterous. But like there was the main event. It was the Gangsters, Dudleys, Balls and Axel, Eliminators in this big, tag mayhem thing. So Balls and Axel are coming to the ring, and these guys are on the rail. Yeah. And Balls and Axel go over. Yeah. Slap five. Well, a couple of guys grab Axel, pull him over, and they start clubbing on him. So the whole locker room goes, what? All the boys hop out of the ring over the rail. And then somebody in the locker room goes, fight, fight. So all rush out, Big Dick Dudley's like windmilling people, just like Godzilla taking down buildings and all this stuff. And just, brawling. And then my favorite story is, the call goes out to the police. There's a riot at the National Guard Armory. So SWAT and K9 come out. There's a riot at the National Guard Armory. So all the police came. So Tommy Dreamer's out there trying to plead with, hey, it's like he's like Leslie Nielsen. There's nothing to see here, blah, blah, blah. And then he got the canine dogs. He's like, no. And then he says out of nowhere, he hears in his ear, I'll take the dogs. And it's Tracy Smothers who's standing there in nothing but a towel with shampoo running down his face. And he starts shadow boxing the canine dogs. And Tommy's like, Tracy, no. And he pulls him in before, Tracy starts boxing, the dogs, because Tracy Smothers known for wrestling bears. So, there's plenty of, riots, but locker room, the only one, the stall out between New Jack and Pitbull Anthony.